That nigga was making $100,000 and had some money. Do you think that he would have been passing a fake bill? Because I've known you my whole life. I ain't never seen you with a fake bill. If he would have had some money.
If he had $100,000, would he be out there with a fake bill? What is it? What are you alluding to?
What I'm saying is the issue came down to some money. Yeah, they say he probably used some drugs or whatever the case may be, and a white supremacist killed him. We know that. A suspected white supremacist killed him. Yeah, we know that. Right? Chauvin killed him on 38th in front of the whole world. But why was he passing fake money? Because he did not have it. So the issue is economics, right?
Well, he has a lot in common with most people on 38.
Okay, so now, what fixes the issue? Economics. That shit should look like Tulsa, Oklahoma. Where's Black Lives Matter's RICO indictment for taking all the damn money? Where's Black Lives Matter's RICO and the Democrats and all those folks that got all that money? Where'd the money go? You just had a place that says they ain't gonna do no more cash bail. Where is the money? Why doesn't 38th in Chicago look like Edina or Minnetonka right now? It's a bunch of folks that got a bunch of money through these nonprofits and a bunch of clout. Where's the money? That's my question, and I'm not mad at you. I'm just saying, bro, like, where's the money? People don't understand, bro. I really want folks to understand, man, just listen to the sound of my voice. Motherfuckers made money off of this shit. Somebody got paid. Where is it? The reason why I say that is because I talked to somebody from Ferguson. And the first time when Black Lives Matter corporate went down there and folks didn't know Darren what's his name? Darren Seals, they didn't even know who Black Lives Matter was. Who's these lesbian bitches? Who the fuck is this nigga? Who are these folks? They done got a bunch of money. And Ferguson still looks the same. Ambulance chasers done got all kinds of money. And Ferguson still looks the same. I talked to somebody from Ferguson before a couple years ago, bro. Mike Brown's mom didn't get all that money. How does Black Lives Matter got all that paper? That's what I'm getting at right here. Yeah, you victimize us. You victimize us. You hate us because we're black, but you victimize us because we're poor. Okay, so move the art. Have one museum. Okay, this is the artwork. We don't need 15 of them. We don't need a trauma bond no more. We need some damn money. We need some resources. Okay, where's the resources coming from? I'm going to be honest, bro. I think there needs to be a RICO on all these damn nonprofits out here that had anything to do with that. Hey, let's look where the money go. Black Lives Matter needs a RICO. I know the Democrats won't allow it, and I'm not giving the GOP a pass. Trump needs to open up a RICO, just like feeding our futures. Where's the money? Somebody got some bread. 38th, clear out 38th in Chicago should be a regular street. We don't need the trauma bond with the lynching anymore. Where's the charges? Where's the federal indictment for the police? Oh, I'm sorry, the DOJ didn't do nothing about it. They waited till Trump got in for the decree. Everybody knows. You see what I'm saying, bro? Like, this is a cap movement. This is capoeira martial arts at its finest. Big cap, Abraham Lincoln cap. Abraham Lincoln tall hat cap. We don't really need a whole bunch of, the artwork's cool, but, and see, they play this type of game. See, I see what's going on, bro. They play this like, okay, yeah, the legacy of Floyd. What is the legacy of Floyd? A bunch of broke ass niggas on 38th that's struggling? That's some bullshit if you ask me. Well, we care about him so much, and George Floyd, and cut the check. 38th needs some reparations. This is a black man that got lynched in front of the whole world. You try to imitate this dude in front of the whole world. Cut the check. Where's the Freedmen's Bank? Where's the Freedmen's Bureau? Where's equivalent to for example, now you said this, I was on my homie Simba Ali stuff. Oh, Minneapolis gonna be pissed. I gotta give it to him. You sent me some paperwork. You still there?
Yeah.
You sent me some paperwork. You said, DP, where's the Foundational Black American Heritage Center? I didn't have no answers. I said, you know what? That's a good question. I'm going to bring this on the show. You gave me that information. You asked that question. Got me thinking. DP, where's the Foundational Black American, the descendants of slaves, freedmen, whatever hell you want to call it, Hebrew, whatever. Where's the Black American Heritage Center? Where when you walk in that bitch, you ain't up there making excuses. You hear about Harriet Tubman, you hear about Denmark Vesey, you hear about Nat Turner, you hear about Rosa Parks, you hear about foundationals from this soil that put in work and built this country for 300 plus years. Where is that Heritage Center at? And I went and looked up, I seen the immigrant station with they get down for the illegals. I saw that. They got a station. They got a center. I seen the Jewish ones. They got about 5-10 of those. Where's the Black American Heritage Center? You asked me that question. I didn't have no answers. I like to have answers, bro. I felt ashamed.
Except for foundation, every organization and race has a community center where they can go to if they're jammed up or something, need a lawyer, need some help, except foundational. Put it to you like this, gays have it to the point where it's broken down. Because gay, just to say gay, that's a pretty layman term. So you got transgender, they got their own center. You got binary, they got their own center. You got lesbian, they got their own center. You got male gays, they got their own center. It's broken down. Mexicans, there's no such thing as a Mexican center. They break it down to Guatemala and this and that by your tribe, by your city, by your state. Except for foundationals, every other race or community
in
has a community center.
St. Paul. Now correct me if I'm wrong. University Avenue. Don't the Eritrean got an Eritrean? Don't they got an Eritrean community center?
They got one in every state in America and in all over Europe. I can walk in there.
Where is the Foundational Black American? And I ain't talking about not people of color. Foundational.
Hold on. I can walk in. Hold on. I can walk in like as an Eritrean. I can walk in that center here in Minnesota, not know anybody, new to this state. As long as I'm not bummy, I can walk in there. They'll ask me a couple questions, who my people are. I'll tell them. And it's breaking down by tribe. So there's 8 or 9 tribes. So that goes, they'll ask me, where are your people from? What city in Eritrea? I'll tell them. They'll find somebody that's from that city to confirm all that. Once that's confirmed, what's going on? Well, I need a job and I need a place to stay. Like I said, as long as I'm not bummy, I'm not on no bum shit, I'll have all that by the end of the day. I'll have a job, probably a cash job. I'll stay with somebody, some Eritrean that has a house, maybe divorced or needs help paying his rent. Boom. Just like that. And all foreigners I just named can do the exact same thing all over America. When foundationals can do that, Foundational Resource Center. Or if you're a foundational and you need a job, or you need a place to stay, or you need any kind of assistance, an attorney or whatever, it should be provided for you.
And you know what's interesting? I want you to hear this and tell you, and this is one of the reasons why I think we don't have it. Now, they talk about the young folks. They say, well, it's the thugs, it's the criminals, the drill rappers and all that. And yeah, they might have a piece of it. But this right here that I'm getting ready to play you, I believe this is what the real reason is. This is the major issue right here. Now, you know me, not real big on preachers, but this dude speaking truth to power. And I want to play this for you.
I might have with some of the so.
I want to play this for you right here.
See, this is part of the problem I have with some of the so-called civil rights leaders. These guys fly in their personal jets.
Uh-oh.
They live in...
Who is he talking about with them personal jets, Solomon? Tell me. Speak the facts. Who is he talking about? Yeah, man. Yeah. Yeah, I think he was getting... He didn't want to say his name, but we know. Because remember, what did he say? I'm that type of guy. You remember that?
This how I travel. Yeah, this how I travel.
Do you remember this was up in Minneapolis? They said, well, people mad because I'm in a private jet, but I'm that type of guy. You're also a mafia informant, Reverend Rat Owl. You're that type of guy too.
Civil rights leaders. These guys fly in their personal jets. They live in gated communities. I'm not against that. Praise God, they are rich. They are doing well. And then they'll stand up and tell you, a black man can't make it in America. If you black in this country, the whole country working against you because a black man can't make it. And he's blacker than you are. And rich have gotten rich off of feeding you that kind of garbage. And there you go, you the fool. You sit there and you buy it. Yeah, that's right. I'm black. I can't do anything because I'm black. I'm black. But he's black.
Now, what he's getting on, I just thought that was very interesting, right? Now, check this out. For example, like when you told me about the, I think I sent it to you, but when you told me about that immigrant coon from Maryland, the governor, talking about, well, we got black politicians. We don't need no reparations. That's our issue right there. That's one of our major issues. So what we're going to have to do is stray away and put those in the Sambo class. And as Malcolm said, we're not going to really be able to deal with our entertainers. So we just count them out. Don't worry about the entertainers. They're not really going to make no major change. You see what I'm saying? But yeah, when you were talking about, we do need our own center. Because when you look at all the civil rights laws and all the benefits to people that are not from this country that have received, that's really built off black folks' back. And black folks, the descendants of slaves here in America, have had a bad history of continuing to look out and stand out for some folks that don't deal with us on a two-way street. Too damn nice. Way too damn nice. And I think that's changing, and that's been problematic. Too damn nice. Because other folks don't really, they don't look out for us like how we've looked out for them. And that's been problematic. On top of the fact you got the Jesse Jacksons and the Sharptons and the, what's this Jamal Negro. I think I played his thing on one of my other channels or something, but basically he got ran out of Baltimore at one point. They found out his cooning and they ran him out of Baltimore years ago. And he had the nerve to get up there, and he was the dude that was talking about, well, we need to stop shopping at Target and DEI and all this so he could get him a little check when 75% of white women are the ones getting all the DEI grants and the benefits. Black folks don't benefit from that shit. It's LGBT, white women, and immigrants. Black folks don't benefit from DEI whatsoever. It's completely worthless. You got to understand, bro, I'm just not some nigga that's just running his mouth. I was a data analyst for a school, so I know what the numbers are. I really, really know how this DEI shit works. On top of that, before it was a big thing with Floyd, they really used the DEI to kind of usher that stuff in kind of around Floyd. But when they used that term, the first time I heard diversity and inclusion, I'm gonna tell you a little story that I don't think I told anybody here. I was working for a large Fortune 500 company in downtown Minneapolis doing IT quite a few years ago. And there was a sister that I met in my second week when I was in in downtown. I won't say the name of the company, but it was a big branding company, I'll say. And I went into the HR, and in my second week, it was kind of some little funny stuff going on. And like I say, I barely get my feet wet. I'm not really doing anything. I'm just doing paperwork or stuff like that. But you know how when you get into an environment, bro, and you're like, okay, this is a little funny. You know what I'm saying? This is a bunch of honkies up in here. So now, I meet this sister in the HR room. You know, cool sister. She look like she'll bake you a cake and stuff. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But she was real cool. She was real cool. And she pulled me to the side. I didn't ask her no questions. She pulled me to the side. Because, you know, when all the Karens left out of the HR office, she pulled me to the side and said, hey, look, young brother, you know, she was a little older than me. Just a little bit. She said, look, young brother, this, you know, I'm the diversity and inclusion officer. And I asked her, I said, what the hell is that? She said, basically, I'm the Negro mind in the stove. I said, interesting. She said, basically, they send me out here to clean up any little racial issues when these white folks get to, you know, doing their thing. So they send me out to be the diversity and inclusion Negro mascot to fix any racial issues. Basically, they try to Jesse Jackson me. She's telling me all this, bro. I want y'all to understand and listen to this. This is DEI. I didn't make this up. She's saying, anytime that a white person does some racist shit at the job, they send me in there to butter up the white folks and sit the Negro down and say, oh, he didn't really mean it, and this, that, and the third. I said, okay. I said, all right. She wasn't a coon. She's just, you know, so she's just kind of letting me know on some spook by the door kind of shit. So I'm like, all right. So, but she told me, she said, I can't do it. I can't do this shit no more. She said, I can't handle it. She said, I can't tap dance for these folks and do this type of shit. They going to hire a sambo. You know what I'm saying? They going to hire a sambo. She said, I can't do it. Because she wasn't there that long either. She was there longer than me. So now, a week later, I see this sister from Chicago. Bad. Real sophisticated, man. And she had like a bachelor's or a master's or something like that. And she came up here from Chicago. Now, I want my listeners to know, the average so-called stereotype of Chicago that you see in Minneapolis, that we see, we on Franklin or whatever, or they fresh. You have thousands, and I want to make this clear, of black sisters and brothers from Chicago that are sophisticated as hell. You got a bunch of Ida B. Wells. They're not all, well, they all Chief Keef. That ain't true. That's a damn lie. There's more black folks doing well in Chicago than black folks here in Minneapolis. That's a fact. There's more black-owned businesses. Well, it's more black folks. So, yeah, you're going to have some more crime. You're going to have some more black businesses. You're going to have more of everything because it's just more people. That's just human nature. So, I meet her. She's like, yeah, I'm fresh out of Chicago, and I could tell. I ain't even have to ask, but I could kind of tell, bro. She came from a 2-parent home. She wasn't the damn stereotype, but she wasn't, you know, she wasn't no coon or nothing like that. She was just, you know, she was normal. She reminded me of the Cosbys, bro. That's what it kind of reminded me. She kind of reminded me of the Cosbys. She was fresh up here. She wasn't here long. She graduated from Chicago and flew and got an interview. Now, I want y'all to understand, we weren't using Microsoft Teams at that time, so the interview could have been, maybe she flew up here, or maybe she was just on the phone and they gave her the job, or whatever the case may be. We're still kind of dealing with, this is pre-social media. It wasn't that long ago. This was like around 2011, but it was pre-social media. So you didn't have where you can just get on I think they did have some ways where you could get on a camera or whatever, use AIM, America Online, or whatever the case may be. But so now she gets up here, she's working, and like the third week, bro, she still ain't got no laptop with her credentials. Still there?
Yep.
She still ain't got no laptop with her credentials. Now I'm IT. I'm still kind of, weaseling into my role and everything too. She still ain't got no laptop with her credentials. And finally she does get a laptop, but she still ain't got her software and stuff like that. So, we talking, whenever I see something. Now this environment, y'all got to keep in mind, it ain't a lot of real niggas up in there. They got these one dudes, they were these twins, and I'm just going to keep it real. They was all right. I ain't had no issue with them. But you could tell that they kind of lean towards a white mama side. You know how you could meet like a mixed person and you be like, okay, he ain't been around no niggas. You ain't got to say no names, bro, but you know what I'm talking about. You know he ain't been around no niggas. He's one of them Drake kind of niggas. So he ain't been around no black folk. He been around his white mama. So now it's two of them that work there. They twins. So I ain't really say nothing to them. I just kind of walked. I mean, they niggas bucking their eyes and they tap dancing. They just all white. But they ain't never bothered me. They ain't never try to undermine me. But I could tell I ain't really gonna have a whole lot to say to them. I'm just not. So I try to naturally get around the black folks where I'm like, okay. And there wasn't really that many. It's so little I could count them on my finger, bro. It's the sister that was in the HR. She was a DEI officer. And it's a sister from Chicago. And it might have been one more black person. And keep in mind that the DEI sister, she said they got a race issue. I knew they had an issue before she told me that. She just confirmed it. I said, okay, so basically you got a whole sundown town up in this bitch. You got some blatant liberal. Now keep in mind, this wasn't your so-called Donald Trump, this GOP January 6th. No. These were them George Floyd, Planned Parenthood, and the strong black woman. That's what these kind of folks was doing. These were the white so-called friends of black liberals. This wasn't the right wing of white supremacy. This was the left wing. Oh, law and order. Oh, blacks, we gotta help blacks, and oh, Planned Parenthood, and single black mother homes, and that kind of thing. Oh, let's be so progressive and let's be so open and let's be so inclusive. You gotta step up. They was talking those kind of terms. So I was taken aback, like, damn, y'all got so many damn laws and order and y'all got so many rules, but y'all got a whole undermining system. I'm sitting here looking at this, bro. You can't ignore it. You see what I'm saying? So the sister tells me, I get to her desk, the sister tells me, man, they still ain't gave me what I'm supposed to have. Now, this is like the second or maybe the third or fourth week. I was there maybe 2 months. And man, let me tell y'all what happened. This is why I say the hell with DEI. Do you know, and you've heard this story 1,000 times, do you know that they got some white girl that didn't know shit? Had the sister train her in. To keep in mind, this white girl don't know a damn thing. She was 19, dumb as hell, don't know nothing, unqualified is I don't know what. And they had the sister from Chicago train this white girl in. The sister told me one day, she said, man, the white girl pulled her to the side, bro, and said, hey, ain't you supposed to be doing my job? Like, I don't know anything. Like, you're training me? The sister was hot. She said, man, forget this. I'm going back to Chicago. She said, I thought that Minnesota was going to be, you know what I'm saying? Like, she thought that this was going to be the wave of her career. So when people start telling me, bro, talking about, well, don't shop at Target because DEI and Pastor Jamal, I don't want to hear about Pastor, I think Cam Newton's legs sexy, Jamal.
Everybody knows.
I don't want to hear about no pastor talking about another man's legs is sexy. You probably, I don't know if you heard about that. Yeah, you're grown, but I know you down there my whole life, bro. I ain't never told you, hey man, look at them shorts. You got some sexy, cute legs. That's your DEI representatives, bro. That's your so-called Congressional Black Caucus representatives. That's your boule NAACP Negro representatives, bro. They just like that. All of them niggas are like that, I'm telling you. If they come from that cloth, every single last one of them are like that, bro. That's why I'm kind of like, okay, I don't want to hear about your little people of color bull. You're minority. I'm not a fucking minority. I'm a freedman. my great grandmother built this goddamn country, and you telling me that y'all can't put some millions into 38th in Chicago? I don't want to hear about the legacy of Floyd. The legacy of Floyd is some niggas that ain't got no money on 38th in Chicago. That was my whole point, bro. Is what they did is they went and they brought the news to talk about the lynching of Floyd, and they went and they interviewed a bunch of black folks to talk about people of color and, oh, this is so bad and this, that, and the third. Meanwhile, the family got their 30 million. I don't know the family very well. It makes me kind of wonder sometimes. I shouldn't say this, but I got to. This is the Bagland. If he was so broke, why didn't y'all send the nigga $100?
Everybody knows.
It really makes you kind of wonder, like, well, damn, did y'all see that this brother got killed? And you're like, okay, yeah, now I got some money now? It's a lot of ambulance chases. That's why I said, bro, and I said this before and I'll say it again. It makes me really, really, really wonder. Is there some family members, and I'm not saying they did it, but is there some family members that's like, yeah, man, that nigga got killed, just get paid. We don't care if the cop goes to jail or not. Just give me some money. Because you know how family is sometimes, bro. They'll pop out the woodwork like, oh, that nigga dead, there's some money involved? Hey, let me holler at Crump. And then, you know, Crump comes along, well, I'm on Aubrey, you know.
None of them even fucking Floyd.
You know what I'm saying? When's the last time you called George Floyd, nigga? When's the last time you had a long conversation with George Floyd? You probably said, man, my crackhead cousin. My crackhead ass cousin.
Right, I mean, how fucked up you got to be as a person? You taking a payout for a family member you don't even want around you. You know what I mean?
Wow.
None of them. Pretty much like this. If you on the streets with fake $100, $20 bills and smoking fentanyl and doing all that, you ain't got a whole lot of people fucking with you.
So
you know what I mean?
Okay. Tell me this, bro. Be honest, bro. Be very honest. Don't pull no punches. What's the difference between Black Lives Matter corporate and Big Useless?
African Americans built this nation.
What's the difference between?
The difference is Big Useless was taking the money that he was getting for drug or gang prevention, and he was putting it back on the streets. The BLM, they're taking the money they're getting, they're enhancing their lives and enhances the lives of Black gay America.
Wasn't Big Useless? Wasn't he putting money in his own personal pocket, transferring from his little nonprofit?
But he was also, and they don't care about, he was enhancing gangs. If Big U had nothing to do with gangs, they wouldn't be fucking with him. This notion that, oh, you're in trouble because you put some money in your personal account from a nonprofit organization, you're in trouble. Bro, the only time they fuck with you with shit like that is if they're already trying to fuck with you.
What about feeding our futures? These niggas was buying homes and all kind of shit in Africa and all that. I mean, they ain't killed nobody.
You got to understand that you talking billions, $250 million. That's a whole nother script. If I had started a nonprofit organization right now and I got maybe $60,000 or $70,000 and I just fucking pocketed that shit, who cares? Ain't nobody fucking with me unless I'm doing something else. Now, if I start a nonprofit organization and I buy a house, cash money for $8 million, somebody's fucking with me. It was an IRS that hits everything for the feeding our future because the dude bought the house for $8 million cash. That was reported to the IRS, who in turn reported it to the FBI. And the IRS is looking at like, wait a minute, you sitting on this kind of money, this ain't being taxed. Oh hell no, you ain't working for this.
I was trying to play these guys, and I think I sent it to you the other day, and we'll get back into Louisiana in a few seconds because I want to keep it moving. And it was these little young drill rapper dudes, and it was in Minneapolis. I think I sent it to you, and I asked you. I said, man, now they turned the RICO on the highs and the lows and the bloods, and they got them indicted. And when I seen this video, now you know these niggas ain't got nan permit. You know these little young dudes ain't got nan permit. And they got the they got these little they got weapons, they got all kind. They showing the weapons in their video, and in the video, I didn't really listen to the whole video. Let me see if I can find it. Let me see if I can find it real quick, and I'll just let you listen to it. They not really talking about much. They just kind of dissing the dead, dissing, F the ops and this, that, and the third. And I'm kind of thinking to myself, like, nigga, didn't you just see this RICO? Didn't you just see this RICO dude? Let me see. Hold on. Let me see if I could. Is this it right here? No, they only got 10 followers. Okay, where's his old? This is an old one. Let me see if I can. Okay, hold on. I just want to play it for you because that was 6 weeks ago. My homie sent that to me. I gotta get back. I gotta get my homie Simba Ali on the show and shit, my homie. Okay, hold on. Let me see. This is. Damn, they didn't hit it. Okay, hold on. I got this little Instagram, bro, and I don't really be on Instagram that much. I just kind of be, but. Let's see here. Damn, message unavailable. They done took it down. How do you get back on live on Lake Street? Is this it right here? Okay, hold on. Profile. All right. Whoa, what happened? Did he? Uh-oh. What happened to the live on Lake Street? Let me see if I can find it on my computer. This is interesting. Hope that nothing happened. I'm trying to get on the live on Lake Street. Okay, so it was some little dudes. Is this it? Uh-oh. Hold on. Damn, the page ain't available. Let me see if I can find these little guys, man. I mean, they're not little, but you know what I'm saying. Like, I'm trying to find these guys. I don't even know who they are, but okay. Basically, they had a video, and they showing all these weapons. And I had texted you the other day, and I said, bro, like, and they talking about sliding on the ops, and and they dissing somebody, so somebody gonna get killed over this. They're on the video. They're naming names of people that they got beef with, and you could tell these dudes, man, in the city, in Minnesota, they want to be like Chicago so bad, so bad. They want to be the drill. They want that drill respect. So they're dissing other people that might have shot their homies or whatever the case may be. And they showing all these kind of little weapons and stuff like that. And some of this stuff, they got regular Glocks, but then some of the stuff look like little machine guns and stuff. And so I was just telling you, I said, bro, like, when I was coming up, I don't remember dudes that I knew that was hustling or even dudes that I knew from the streets. I don't recall anybody showing any weapons. Now, of course, we didn't have Instagram and all that stuff back in the day, but a lot of times when dudes got a gun or a weapon, sometimes they might want to, hey man, you want to see this, bro? They might want to show it or whatever. I don't recall ever seeing a weapon in anybody that was a hustler or a gang member that I knew. Ever. I've never seen anybody with a weapon when I was coming up, bro. I knew they had them, but I never seen it. And I never heard anybody mention it. Never, bro. I don't remember anybody mentioning, man, I'm going to do this to so-and-so, and yeah. And I don't remember any of that.
Guns weren't legal back then.
I mean, guns were never, but, I mean.
They weren't legal.
Well, you could get a permit, but you got to think, bro, if you're a criminal, you ain't think about no damn permit. So how does that work? If you hustling in the street, bro, you ain't think about no permit.
No, with the gun ranges being open and
they've always been open.
With the gun, no, not to this degree.
What? Bro, there was always gun ranges. There was always gun ranges. Just dudes from the streets didn't really go to gun ranges like that.
Yeah, but when it became legal to own a firearm, they had more gun ranges. And what happens is now you got people that are getting guns wholesale and they're putting them back on the street.
I don't think that's the reason, bro. That doesn't really make sense. There was always, if you're in the streets, you're not worried about the legality of a gun.
When did Minnesota legalize handguns?
You talking about a permit, right?
Yeah.
You can have it in your house, but okay, so you're asking when did they legalize? Okay.
Yeah, when was it legal for you to have a gun?
All right. So, let's look in the back. So in Minnesota, the right to carry was significantly impacted by the Minnesota Citizens Personal Protection Act of 2003, which allowed permit holders to carry handguns openly or concealed. The bill passed in 2005, but bro, I'm a criminal. I don't abide by those rules. Permit or not, that don't matter to me. I'm in the street. I'm a street nigga. I'm not going to apply for no weapon. You could get a gun off the street easy.
After 2003, there was more guns available. There was more guns out there, so more people had them.
So you're saying
it's not like there was a change in mentality and a change in philosophy. No, it's just people had access to them now.
So you're saying that these Chicago niggas and these gangbanging ass niggas in Minneapolis ain't have no access to automatic weapons back in the 90s? In Murderapolis?
Not like this.
You don't think so?
Not like this. Hey, guess what? In the 90s, you had access to weed. Not like you do now. Access changes. Once you start getting shit wholesale, there's another market.
All right, check this out. In 1975, there was a law enacted that generally allowed the carrying or possession of pistols with local regulations allowed in cities of the first class. 2003, the Minnesota Citizens Personal Protection Act was passed. Matter of fact, let me tell you something. Folks may not know this. A lot of people from Chicago get their weapons from Indiana. You know why? Indiana is very, very laxed with their gun laws. Chicago, believe it or not, is much like New York. I don't know if you knew that or not. Chicago, when you're a black person, and this is documented, you could look this up. There was a lot of black folks that tried to get legal permits and was getting to run around. Chicago, especially New York. New York, you can forget about it. They don't even want you to defend yourself. You know what I'm saying? New York, you ain't getting no permit like that. You got to go through hell and high water. I heard California's a little pain too. But New York, you can forget about it. You ain't getting no conceal and carry. Just, you know how we walk in and take the class, and you got to go through all kind of crap to get a conceal and carry in New York. Indiana's very laxed. So a lot of dudes would go to, would you know, like a lot of them niggas from Chicago, they go to Indiana to get their pistols. You see what I'm saying? So, but I still, what I'm saying is I don't remember the culture of dudes that had weapons that was bragging about it. I never heard dudes say they had a weapon. I knew they had them, but they never said they had a weapon. Now, these kids want you to know they got it. They on the video, they on social media, they dissing people, they saying they gonna smoke somebody, all on the internet, bro. All on the internet. They want you to know they got these weapons. They're taking videos of the weapons. I wish I could send you the video. They're sending these weapons that these kids got. These are not weapons. They're not even. Some of these weapons ain't even something that you really gonna carry around in your everyday. They have these on their person. And they're telling you they got them. They're showing their faces in the videos. They're showing the weapon. They saying, we gonna do this to so-and-so. You said a rhyme to me that made me mad. And when I catch you, I'm gonna draw down on you. They literally telling everybody what they're gonna do with these weapons, bro. And a RICO just happened to the highs and the lows as if they don't know. So I'm starting to think they don't care. I'm starting to think they don't care, bro. What do you think?
Well, I just think there's more access to guns now. More people have access to them. It's easier to find. It's easier to get, which means more people are going to have.
Well,
I don't think there's been a shift in mentality.
I had access to them too when I was young.
Not like this, man. I keep telling you, bro. There's in the city now. It's not hard to find a gun at all. It was not easy when you were coming up. It's hard now. It's not hard now.
I could tell you a time when I used to have a shop on 38th with my homies and stuff, and a nigga came through talking about, yeah, we got a chop fully.
Okay, that's one guy, bro.
But what
now
I'm saying,
you don't need a guy that knows you and comes in your shop. You can just be walking around. Somebody will offer you a gun. It's a whole nother time.
But if I wanted one, I could just call somebody, bro. Like if I really wanted something I could have access to.
There was never a time where anybody couldn't have did that. What you just described now, I could call somebody and get a gun. That you're not making a point. Anyone could have done that ever. So what the truth is it's just there's more access. When you see there's more guns on the streets. There's more gun ranges, which means there's going to be guns that are wholesale, which means these owners of these gun ranges are going to put them out on the street because if not, they're not going to get anything for them. So that's where that comes from. But the notion that 20 years ago you could have called somebody and got a gun, guess what? 40 years ago somebody could have called somebody and got a gun. So you know what I mean? It's not. There's no shift in the mentality of people.
You know what?
There's just more access.
You might have a point.
Why do you think there's more people now? There's more people now that smoke weed than ever before because there's more dispensaries and there's more access. Access is going to lead to more.
You know what? You might have a point. I did the paperwork. We do paperwork here on the Bagland. I looked at an article on Vox on July 27th by Sarah Frostenson. She says there is more guns than people in America. America's relationship with guns is like that of no other country. We are the only country in which guns outnumber people. A fact that became true in 2009. And we keep manufacturing more and more guns. Between 2010 and 2013 alone, the number of guns produced in the United States doubled. Guns are ubiquitous in the United States in a way that's unique. This is a big part of the explanation for why the United States has higher gun homicides than any other countries. The year 2009, the first of Barack Obama's presidency, marked a turning point in America's relationship with guns. It was the first year when guns outnumbered people in America. From 1994 to 2009, the number of guns Americans owned grew on average by 4.1% annually. Over the same time frame, total U.S. population grew 1.1% annually. The number of guns in America has doubled more than 1968. But the U.S. population has nowhere near doubled its 1968 population. So if recent trends are any indication, these numbers will only continue to diverge, and guns will increasingly outnumber people. Well, you got me there, Solomon. Background checks skyrocket under Obama. Why is that?
For any gun now, I bet you if you go to the back of a gun range, they probably got over hundreds of excess guns just sitting back there. They don't know what to do with.
After Obama, background checks skyrocketed. You know what that means? Race soldiers were like, hey, I need some weapons. Background
Not
checks.
just race soldiers, just people in general. Wait a minute, I can legally have a gun. Let me go get one.
I'm going to have to argue with you a little bit on that.
I mean, there's going to be there's going to be a lot more white people, especially when you start saying background checks.
Background
There's going to be a lot more white people, but in general, once you start saying, "Oh, I can have a gun," that's going to get people's intrigue. It's going to get people's going to get the intrigue of people. People just want to have a gun in there. I know people that they would never shoot anybody. They just have a bunch of guns just to have in their house and collect. They're gun collectors. It's a bad thing, but hey, they seen the money, and when white America wants something, it's going to happen. White America wanted guns. Guns being legalized in America, and the policing in America is all done to protect white people.
I think homeowners should have
everybody.
one. I think every homeowner should have one. You got some kids, man, somebody coming in invasion. The police ain't going to come in another 30 minutes, especially after Floyd.
Every responsible person should have one, but the problem is that we all know it's not going to happen like that. You got people that are jittery. I used to work with a guy that would try to pull it out on people just for an argument.
Nah, he shouldn't have one.
Yeah, he just pull it out just because he got an argument. He's just a pussy.
Yeah, he should have one.
You know,
that wouldn't work in Angola, would it?
Nobody should have them. Nobody should have them, if you ask me. But it's here, so you got to deal with it. But you just live in a world nowadays where you just got to be more cautious. You know, you live in a world now where anybody can have a gun. The most bummiest, brokest, lamest motherfucker could have a pistol on them.
Let's go to one more subject real quick. Let's go to a subject real quick before I bounce back. Let's change the subject to now, this has been going on for a minute. I've already proven it. 100 men cannot hurt a gorilla. Bare hands. That's been the subject. This is weeks old, but I'm going to cover it. Now, I sent you a video of what a chimpanzee could do. Do you remember that? Let's refresh the listeners. Do you remember when I sent you a video of what a chimpanzee can do? And remember I sent you that lady's face and you're like, damn, man, like what happened?
Ripped her face.
Let's play it. This is Oprah.
Video we're about to show you. It may be upsetting to some viewers. A chimp attack back in February ripped off part of a woman's face.
I want to get this video because it got the audio that I want. But for some reason, it's so low. It's really, Jesus. Oh my gosh. Oh man. It's hard to watch this, man. Okay. This is a movie. And I'm going to find this video in a second. But there's a movie. And I don't know if I want to say it's my favorite movie, but there's a movie called Nope. Have you ever seen a movie called Get Out?
No.
Really?
Yeah,
I'm shocked. Well, you never struck me as a huge movie man. Let me tell you something, man. Get Out came out, I believe, in 2017 or 2015 or something. It's by Jordan Peele. There's so many Easter eggs and so many layers of that movie, it'll blow your mind. I don't know if you're a big horror movie fan. It's not like a ghost horror movie, but it's scary because it's like something that actually probably has happened many times and can actually happen. It's a movie called Get Out. Basically, the premise is some Negro that he goes into the suburbs way out somewhere that, and he's dating this white woman, and I'm trying to say it to where you won't. I mean, it's one of my favorite movies. I watched it at least 6 times. Basically, he feels comfortable enough to go way out in the middle of nowhere, kind of, and it's a bunch of strange stuff going on. I'm gonna say that. I'll just say that. Big movie, kind of changed the horror genre. It kind of hit almost like this new movie I told you about, Sinners. It kind of hit almost like that. And the same dude that directed it, his brother named Jordan Peele, he did a movie called Nope. My point is, There's a scene in the movie Nope where a chimpanzee on a TV show. You know how they got these little TV show animals where they got a lion or a tiger or a monkey, or you remember them little TV shows where it's always some little animal that plays in the TV show or whatever the case may be, or something, or they have an animal at the zoo and they feeding it and they teaching it sign language and whatnot. Well, the chimp basically snapped one day and basically just unalived everybody. That's a chimpanzee, 100 pounds. That's a chimpanzee, bro, 100 pounds. Now, I want to play some video of somebody that got attacked by a chimp. And that's not the one where they ripped this lady's face off. We're going to get to that in a minute. But this one right here, is this the 911 call? Okay, we're going to get to that one, but I'm trying to find this other one here. Hold on. Oh my gosh. Chimp 911 attack. Here it is.
Stand for 911. Where's your emergency?
Oh, this is Edina. 231 Rock Criminal Road.
What's the problem?
Send the police. Send the police.
What's the problem there?
The chimp killed my friend.
What's the problem with your friend?
Oh, please.
What's the problem with your friend? I need to know.
Send the police up with a gun.
This dude had already told her.
One of the seasoned detectives that got there.
Hold on, we're going to play that one in a minute.
Stand for 911. Where's
Now
your
this woman had already told this dude, this old dunce ass 911 dude, the chimp killed my friend. And he's still asking what happened to your friend. Like, is this dude high?
Oh, this is Edina.
Interesting. Stamford, Connecticut. Didn't you tell me about Stamford?
Yeah, it's one of the highest tax brackets in America.
Oh,
if not the highest.
So this is where Miss Ain't No White Supremacy exists, but sued the NAACP. Interesting. Miss Candace, right?
Candace.
All right.
Candace from out there.
Yeah.
The McMahon family from there.
Ain't no racism. Ain't no such thing as white supremacy. But she sued using the NAACP in Stamford. Very interesting, Candace. Just wondering.
231 Rock Criminal Road.
What's the problem?
Send the police. Send the police.
What's the problem there?
The chimp killed my friend.
What's the problem with your friend?
Oh, please.
What's the problem with your friend? I need to know.
Send the police up with a gun. With a gun. Hurry
Who
up.
has a gun?
Please hurry up. He's killing my girlfriend.
What is the problem?
He's killing my friend.
This nigga said, where's the... Did they fire this dude? Now, you could hear this as well. I could hear this, bro. He keeps asking who's killing your friend. This is a 911 operator. This is a 911 operator. Come on, man. I'm listening to it just like you is. Oh, man. Come on, man.
Did he send out anybody?
I don't know. We're going to listen to it. I got a bunch of videos we're going to play about this before we get back in Louisiana. He didn't sound like he don't believe her.
My chimpanzee.
Oh, your chimpanzee is killing your friend.
He ripped her apart. Hurry up.
With a gun.
Hurry up, please.
There's someone on the way.
With guns, please. Shoot him.
What is the monkey doing? Tell me what the monkey's...
He ripped her face off.
He ripped her face off?
He's trying to attack me. Please,
Okay,
hurry.
I need you to calm down a little bit. They're on the way. Can you put yourself away? I don't want the monkey attacking you.
Please, hurry up. Listen to me.
They're on the way, ma'am.
Guns. They gotta shoot him, please. Please, hurry.
Are you there with your friend? I need you to help your friend. Can you go help your friend?
I can't. He tried to attack me now.
Is he still there with your friend?
Yes.
Okay, so then back off. Then don't get any closer, okay? They're already on the way.
Please.
If the monkey moves away...
Man, let me tell you something, Solomon. If a chimpanzee is attacking you, nigga, I'm going to help you, bro. I'm probably going to get messed up. I'm going to help you. I ain't going to let that thing rip you apart. I'm probably going to get hurt, too. You know what I'm saying, bro? I'm not about to... bro. I'm not about to let that thing rip you to shreds. You know what I'm saying? I already ripped your face off. I'm gonna try to do something. Hit it with a bottle. See, I want folks to understand something, man.
What was it doing? Was it biting her? Or
yeah, man.
Scratching her?
Yeah. That's why I said what I said, bro. When I said, man, it's a bunch of stupid.
She owned it.
She owned the chimp, and I don't think that's a good idea. But what I'm saying is, bro, is like, this is 100 pounds. They don't get over 100 to 120 pounds. She owned a chimp.
And it turned on her.
Wow. It turned on her, as it should. DP, are you saying that? Yes, I am. It's a wild animal. It's not made to be tame. It's supposed to be back in Africa. But you wanted to see, a lot of white folks like to own these type of animals, and then they want to turn around and blame the animal. Now, I don't want to get attacked by nothing like that. I'm trying to share some sympathy, but the thing is it's almost like you telling me, well, DP, you need to sympathize with the Afrikaners for getting kicked out of Africa. Why the fuck should I sympathize with some white folks getting kicked out of Africa? Why? Y'all went to colonize black folks in South Africa, and they telling you to move around. Why should I sympathize with you?
Okay, you don't have to sympathize, but who did?
Somebody did. Old Donald J sympathized, from what I can understand.
Yeah, you see that? You see Donald Trump said, wait a minute, my white people are being suppressed. Fuck this shit. I'm gonna go get them.
And you know what? He did what he did what he was supposed to do. He did. He did right by his people. Yeah, he did. He looked out for his fellow white folk. That's what we gotta do. Now, back to this chimp. Now, on the internet, you got a bunch of stupid. And I think the first time I heard it was some rapper, some dumb rap nigga, as usual. Man, 100 men could beat up a gorilla. Nigga, this is a chimpanzee that weighs 100 pounds. It's gonna rip your face off and then come and rip your friend's face off. 100 pounds. A gorilla is 600 pounds.
All right, so if you had 100 men, all those 100 men would have to be willing to die.
Well, here's the thing.
Because out of that 100, that gorilla's going to take out at least 60 or 70 of you.
Well, let's not even take a gorilla. Let's go further. If you ever got jumped before and it's 5 dudes and you knock out 2, what are the other 3 dudes gonna do?
They're not gonna charge at you.
They gonna kind of be like, I don't know about him, because now they're thinking danger. Humans understand danger. They can say, well, that ain't gonna happen. And you got a whole bunch of ain't gonna happen type of Negroes out here until something does happen. Prime example.
Yeah, you'd have to have 100 men that all at the same time attack that gorilla, and none of them are scared. You know what I mean? Because out of that 100 that all run up, you know what I mean? There might be 10 of them that actually go towards the gorilla. If you had 100 men that were not scared and all went up towards that gorilla, I don't know.
Barehanded.
A lot of you would be dead.
I'm saying barehanded because when you grab, first of all,
if they all just charged at it and just tried to tackle it down, all 100 of them, then they probably could.
I mean, but maybe, but you got to think, one gorilla running across 100 men, when he's running over those, because it's not going to be like 100 all at one time. You remember when you got to think, we was kids, if you get jumped, it's not 10 people all on you at once. It's 1 or 2 dudes that's hitting you, and then the other 2 dudes, they kind of scared. They might get a lick in here and there, but they can't all get you at one time. So now you got 10 dudes in the front, and when they see that gorilla, I'm telling you, saying they're not going to be scared. If you've ever been attacked by an animal,
100 men that are not scared, that's the only way you'd have a chance. 100 men that none of them are, like all of them are about to die tomorrow. And
that's not going to happen. You know why? Because when you get
100 men on death row.
When you get, you know why? Because when you get 10 feet close to that gorilla. I don't care if you're on death row or not. See, you're dealing with humans. You be like, okay, I'm not scared of this dude. You thinking you ain't scared of this dude. This is different. This is an animal. This thing is 600 pounds, pure muscle. Each time it hits you is 2,500 pounds per square inch. If it bites you, it's taking your whole damn arm off. Easy. Easy. You're better off fighting a lion. You know what I'm saying? And you're telling me that all 100 of y'all ain't gonna be scared? The first 10 of y'all once you get close to it, you gonna start thinking like, oh man, this ain't going well. Before it attacks you, you're already thinking, okay, this ain't going well. I'm not gonna make it. I'm not talking about 100. I'm not talking about 100.
You comprehend that 100 men are running at me right now?
Well, yeah. I mean, it can see that it's gonna get crowded, and it's gonna be the Incredible Hulk now. It's gonna get worse. This ain't like a regular attack. If it sees 10 people, and here's another thing people need to understand. It's like if it's like 10 dudes and they just grab me, right? You could easily grab me. I can't fight off 10 dudes. You're just not. You got to be like the Dark Knight Batman or something like that. But, you know, it's not easy to fight 2-3 people for that matter. You might be able to get down on 2 or 3 dudes if you could really, I'm talking about if you could really work it. And you got to make sure you don't never fall. But now you're talking about 10 or 15 dudes. 10 or 15 dudes, 2 or 3 of them could grab you. The other 2-3 could grab you, and then the other could just keep hitting you with sticks or whatever the case may be. You know, it's not looking good for you. You see what I'm saying? So now if you got some space to move around, maybe you could pull it. But that's a dude. We're talking about a human being. How you gonna grab a gorilla? Where are you gonna grab a gorilla at? What are you gonna hit it with? We're talking about barehanded. This is the statement that people have been making. This is the statement that these stupid motherfuckers have been making online. Man, we could all just grab it. Where you gonna grab it at? Where? You can't grab a gorilla like that. You could probably grab its hair if you think. You can't get no grip on no gorilla. You talking about someone with arms about the size of a damn car damn near. You can't get no grip on no gorilla. You try to grab the gorilla. First of all, you try to grab the gorilla, you gonna get hit. That's number one. It's gonna crack your whole skull open. You're dead. It's gonna hit you and you're dead. You're not gonna survive. You're done. Anywhere it hits you, you're done. That's number one. So now you try to grab it. You're not really gonna get much of a hold